keep this drama going. They interview people all day long who are crying and carrying on, and then they started this thing called the what are those workers called? Essential workers.
Frontline, yeah.
They're all getting paid, all of them. Most people don't have jobs. And then they call these essential workers, and everybody claps at 7 p.m. or something like that. And to me, who are they to judge who's essential? The ones that are getting paid, the only people who are getting paid, they're essential? Well, they're just doing their jobs, as far as I'm concerned. And that's fine. They got a job. Good for them. It happens to be in a field that can fit with their requirements. Because I don't think it's right for them to build this whole thing up as a drama and keep it going like this. And the thing is, fear. Oh, you know what? They had a doctor on saying fear is very important, because if you're in fear, you stay inside. As soon as you're over the fear, you're up and out. And he said, we have to keep people in fear. And I thought, oh my God, it's like treating people like rats, laboratory. It's like we have no individual sense of anything. And I just didn't like the way that they're manipulating thought and also using it for political reasons. And then on NPR the other day, and then there was this other man who's now, they censure anybody who goes on YouTube and speaks against all of this. They just cut him right out, both on YouTube and Google. And is Google and YouTube the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's basically running the world right now. It's not anything real. And he said it stifles creative thinking and freedom of thought and ideas and solutions. It just shuts people down. And he said, you really have to be alert to all the ways of manipulation. And this is how they brought in socialism and communism all around the world, is through these fear tactics.
But people are getting very sick and dying.
Well, that's all part of it. That's all part of it. First of all, just on the sick and dying part, anybody who dies is counted in the numbers because they want that. That's part of the fear thing. So they sound much more than they are. And it's just, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that there are other people who know things that aren't being reported. And the press is making out like bandits on this. They're controlling everything. The press and the World Health Organization have just taken over. What do you call it? Well, they're demanding more money. Because, see, now they've been all puffed up. Now we're the essential workers. But why are they calling them essential workers? To me, it's not a right way to treat people. Why not thank everybody if you're going to do that? Why would you isolate out that? It's because they want to have war heroes. They want to have people that they can call heroes. And that's all part of the attraction to it. And the first people that they brought up as having this virus are movie stars, which is perfect for Americans, because they just, if they hear a movie star has it, well, I've got to get it. It's the latest fashion. Oh, so yes, people are dying from this, but and I guess it's just awful because they put them on these ventilators so they stop breathing. The breathing is done for them. Imagine the fear of that, having this thing pumping your body, instead of, just working through it and naturally. And there's just that fear. They say you check in and you don't check out of those situations because the whole thing is built around this drama. I'm not saying that I don't feel bad for these people, but I looked up the word virus because I didn't really know what it meant. I've never been around that kind of education. And it said that a virus, if you call it a virus, it's never been alive, and it's dead. It's a not dead, but a non-living thing. In other words, it never was alive. And it's tiny, 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 and it has a kind of gummy surface on it, but you can't even see it, of course. And these viruses are all over the planet. It said in the dictionary that the human is made out of viruses. And so, anyway, it said that a virus cannot become alive unless it has a welcoming host. And when you think of it metaphysically, you think, okay, that's meaning that you've brought this into you've opened up your thought to it. You're afraid of it, just like, a wild animal. You're afraid of it, so that it's like a welcoming host. It's somebody who believes in its power. What am I doing? This is crazy. I cannot talk and drive. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Yikes. I have to go this way. It's something I just know innately, and the thing is, it's such a wonderful thing to be free of these claims that are only claims. They're only suggestions. The definition of virus comes from Latin, and it means the venom of a serpent, the poisonous venom of a serpent. And I started thinking about, how can we heal? How can these few people, or few who know the truth, and why can't we heal everybody? Why can't other people also be healed? And that's why, in our own experience, if our thought is really pure and really unfearful and truly aligned with the Creator, with God, as all and only good, nobody can measure the power of prayer, of turning to God and trusting and understanding what life is and what is our substance. It's untouched. It can be only untouched because it's spiritual substance, and this human world, or this physical seeming experience, can only reflect. It can only reflect thought. It has no life of its own. And it's what is the word that they use for the diseases when they say something is it can be what do you call it? If something's catching.
Contagious.
Contagious. That what's more contagious? Good? Yes. It's more contagious. And I thought about smiling and how, even if you don't feel happy, if you smile, other people feel lifted. And that is power. And that lifts the human race. And so we should never feel that, even though we're not going to know this, and the news is certainly not going to report, the good that's going on. But, really, all of the good that goes on, we have no idea how much wonderful prayer is going on in the hearts and homes of those who, they don't just keep it for themselves. They can't. If you can't help it. So when your thought is clear, mathematically clear, scientifically clear, I'm talking about real science that adds up to life and truth and love that's impermeable and just so strong and so powerful, that does heal the world. It does bring, and when you think of all the things that this one has been especially interesting because they do compare it to war in a way because they're trying to overcome something that seems difficult and powerful, and but as soon as people are ready, they can walk away from people. That's why people can be healed on the deathbed. right or after death, what they call death. And you have to succumb to death. You have to agree to it. And if you don't agree to it, you can walk away from it. But people don't know that. There's so much education to the contrary, because people want to believe what their eyes show them, or they just don't. They don't trust. We're so far away from the simple truths and the simple times. Things have become so complex, and in a way people have become less spiritually in tuned. So they're not able to grasp that so quickly and easily. And they only turn in emergencies, to God, and they don't know what to think. They're just like pleading, rather than what really works is knowing. But that takes practice. So anyway, that's my feeling, is that we can spend all day talking about all the things about the coronavirus that are saying it's this or it's that, or this is going to happen or that's going to happen, and this and that, or make up fake numbers or real numbers or whatever. But really, that's not what the conversation needs to be about. It needs to be about where do we turn? What is true? How do we get there? And it doesn't come in an earthquake, wind and fire. It doesn't come over NPR. That's not where our news comes from. It comes from within. And we just suddenly feel released. And I feel, lately on the news they're saying, we have some good news, the curve is doing this or the curve is doing that. And then right after, the NPR person says, that's a good reason to lock yourselves inside. Don't leave your houses. And I thought, how interesting. They're giving a good report for once, and then they're saying that because they want to keep, they're afraid. It's not because they really know what they're doing. They're living in fear, and they think they have the answer, and they have the microphone in their hand. So they know people don't know what else to do, but they do know what to do if they're left in quietude, if they're just still, if we would just be still. The answers are there, and we are helping the world. We are blessing the world. We all of us who have we don't even have to know very much, We just have to have the slightest little trust, and that is like ignition. It's just one spark, and a whole car starts. And eventually, sometimes people have to learn things through hard trials, and sometimes they learn things through quiet listening. And the more we can learn to do that, the stronger our trust will be, and the clearer our demonstration of it will be. But